That he felt that
Steven Spielberg, I find quite confused. If I know more about, him and his life and Amy Irving and what have you.
It looks like our favorite pretty woman, Julia Roberts, is stirring up trouble in Tinseltown, and judging by her claims, she's about to destroy Steven Spielberg and expose him as the next big predator after Jeffrey Epstein. Some surprising claims made the actress in the past have recently surfaced on social media, and folks, it looks so bad for Steven. You're probably well aware that earlier this year, a list linking people to Jeffrey Epstein was leaked, including the names of his close associates, friends, and alleged victims. There were rumors back then that Spielberg might be on that list and he might not be as squeaky clean as he seemed. The arguments went on for days until recently, when Julia Roberts reportedly decided to weigh in. She revealed something that many fans had suspected all along, and it was pretty shocking.
Unfortunately, not as good at remembering the time that we spent together as...
These two have been at odds since filming the hit movie Hook back in the late 80s. Spielberg had complained bitterly about Roberts' behavior on set, claiming she was unprofessional and had trouble following directions, and even mentioned she doesn't the star in his next projects. It was not a great time for Julia and I to be working together. In an interview with Vanity Fair, Roberts slammed Spielberg for not having her back when people said she was hard to work with. She said it really hurt when the famous director didn't stand up for her, even calling him a traitor. And apparently, knowing what creepy rumors about his connection to Epstein Island started to circulate, she is ready to return the favor and spill all the dirt on this man.
It wasn't as conscious as sort of, that's it, I'm done. Just something that was quite normal, which was I finished a movie.
With their rocky Hollywood history, which lasted since the 80s, it was only a matter of time before Roberts was asked about Spielberg and his name popping up on the supposed Epstein list. After all, it's a huge topic in 2024, with all the disgusting revelations surfacing. You know how journalists are always looking for juicy stories. So when Spielberg's name came up, they rushed to Roberts for a comment, and she didn't hold back. I watched it and thought, is this the same man I had whipped cream fights with on the set? Is this the same man who said that he couldn't wait every day to get to our stage because it was more fun than the big stage? I guess sometimes it's just too tempting to be in the majority. Recently, documents from the filming of Indiana Jones have come to light, and they're pretty disturbing. They show Spielberg, along with his buddies George Lucas and Lawrence Kasdan, discussing how to shape Indiana Jones. And let's just say, it's not pretty. Fans were disgusted to hear how these guys thought making a young female character hook up with an older guy would make the movie more intense.
But how old was Marion when their love affair began?
But hey, this is Hollywood, where the craziest stuff happens, right? And when you think it's just a work of fiction, let's not forget that films are like a mirror for society. And let me tell you, Spielberg's approach is far from being innocent, especially when you start to dissect some of his most popular scripts, asking serious questions. You know, a 26-year-old being romantically linked with a much, much younger lady is creepy, according to all standards. There were also rumors that there might have some seriously messed up stuff going on behind the scenes. But if you thought Spielberg's thing with young characters and older people was a one-time slip-up, think again. There's some spicy talk that during Jurassic Park, he was getting real cozy with Ariana Richards, the main star.
But isn't that hard for you to have to read?
Well, it's actually not that hard. No.
He tells us in, so how we would understand.
Word on the street is Spielberg sent young Richards' minder packing so he could be alone with her. They say it all started innocently enough, going over lines in her hotel room. Then he kicks out the chaperone and things get weird. Rumor has it Spielberg put her in some seriously compromising situations that messed her up big time, experience after which she was forced to quit acting. Sources are saying the actress has been in therapy for years and wants nothing to do with that movie or talking about it. She's totally ghosted Hollywood. After Jurassic Park, she did a few more flicks, but then bailed on the whole scene.
Focusing on my painting, and I have an international clientele.
And you know who else was part of that scene? Roman Polanski, another big name in movies and a buddy of Spielberg's. Birds of a feather, as they say, right? Apparently, with more stories about Steven and his relation to Epstein surfacing, we'll be witnessing another epic downfall because folks on social media are quick to judge. As one person commented, Hollywood is a sick place. Don't watch movies made from Hollywood anymore. And another user added, all of these Hollywood psychos need to be held accountable, especially when children are involved. But if you think this Spielberg's exposure is something new, here's some info to think about. In 2003, actor Crispin Glover released an essay where he threw shade at Spielberg, saying how he always puts young boys in weird situations.
It's a little bit hard. I know we don't have a lot of time, but...
Every other day, we are given news about someone in Hollywood being outed as an essay predator or major creep, which is a good thing that they are being exposed. It seems like for decades, people didn't even care about Steven Spielberg. But all thanks to people like Julia Roberts and Crispin Glover calling out Hollywood's shady side, we are getting to know his shady side as well. And if you revisit that scene in Schindler's List with kids and sewage or the kid finger, painting and Hook, it all makes perfect sense. And what about the connection between Spielberg and Michael Jackson? It may just happen that they share the same views on young boys. Fans think Glover's essay is dropping hints without straight up saying it to dodge potential backlash and revenge coming from Steven for outing his nasty side.
Maybe it's better if I do something that's kind of a little bit a negative toward that guy.
As for Glover, he might have seen some crazy stuff that could have totally freaked him out. His only way of fighting back against the system was to expose it, and he did, but he kept it low, key to avoid getting messed up after his refusal to play by the industry rules. As usual, Tinseltown labeled him as a crazy and unstable dude who just wanted to go against society's rules. Luckily, Crispin isn't the only industry vet who's spoken up about how boys are treated in Hollywood. Apparently, it's the #1 problem in Hollywood, the one nobody talks about, but at the same time, it is a big, widespread secret. And check this, Corey Feldman, another former child actor, spilled the beans about Hollywood's big secret in 2011.
This is about opening people's eyes and minds to the fact that this is a real problem, that it really exists.
Feldman, who was a victim himself, said when he was a young actor, he got put into some messed up situations he didn't want to be in. And to make things worse, the guys who did it were big shots in the industry, probably doing it for years without any consequences. Explaining how these creeps operate, Feldman said they scare you so bad, you're too scared to say anything. When asked why he didn't report it at the time, Feldman said he was scared stiff. Kids aren't supposed to deal with that kind of stuff. Feldman revealed that his late friend Corey Haim went through even worse stuff than him. In his book, Choreography, he told how someone forced themselves on Corey Haim during the filming of the movie Lucas in 1986. Feldman said a lot of people knew what was going on, but no one did anything about it.
I said, well, I can give you the names, here they are. And they said, okay, well, unfortunately, that's not our area.
In an interview to support his documentary about essay issue in Hollywood, Feldman called out the studio system for not providing a safe environment for young actors. They're liable for what happened to Haim. I'm not outing a bunch of executives. It's not the executives that are the problem. The little guys, like publicists, managers, parents, and other people who are with child actors on a daily basis. It's time for them to stop looking the other way. While the man in question, Spielberg, hasn't been sued yet for what people say he's done, his time is about to come. Weinstein, Epstein, and even Diddy all received their karma visit in the end. Now, Hollywood insiders chat quietly about Steven's alleged crimes, but so far, no one's of his victims stepped up to sue him yet. But with his name on the Epstein list and all we know, it feels like someone's gonna take action soon.
When you're a kid, when you're an 18, 19, 20-year-old kid, you try telling the police, which is a very big thing to do.
Many fans agree that actors, especially kids, gotta be kept safe from these elites who use their innocence against them, causing scars that last a lifetime. As one fan wrote, more reasons to give up watching movies for good. Intimidation, lies and hypocrisy on all sides. Simply tragic. And another user added, the more that get exposed with facts to back it up, the happier I am. This needs to be exposed and accountability done. It's the era of purification in Tinseltown, and it looks like almost everyone we used to admire is guilty. But folks, what do you think about this? Is now the best time to speak against the industry predators and expose their creepy dealings? And will Steven Spielberg be the next to face the backlash for what he has allegedly done? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to check my other videos.